Hello students, how are you? Today we're gonna discuss or start measurement. Measurement means measuring things. Okay, let's say for example, you have to give some clay to your friend. So how will you measure so that when he return back the clay to you, you get the same amount as you have given? राइट मतलब आप कुछ सामान देना चाह रहे हैं अपने फ्रेंड को, क्ले देना चाह रहे हैं, या यू वांट टू गिव समथिंग टू योर फ्रेंड, ही वांट्स दैट फॉर सम टाइम, और उसके बाद वो रिटर्न कर देंगे. तो आपने क्ले दिया. अब आप कैसे मेजर करो कि मैंने इतना ही क्ले दिया? जब वो वापस करेंगे तो सेम अमाउंट में क्ले आपको वापस मिल रहा है या नहीं मिल रहा है? These all type of things come under measurement. So measurement, MEASUREMENT. Let's say for example, I've said that kids, let's do some craft work today. So we will be needing a ribbon and scissor and some glue. We'll be making a bow. So for that I have said, okay, now measure it 10 centimeter and cut. 10 centimeter, how will you measure if you're not knowing measurement? So we're gonna discuss measurement today. Under measurement, we measure length, okay, length of something, weight of something, and capacity. We also measure time and temperature, right? How hot or cold a temperature. So all these things come under measurement, and if we don't study this topic, how will we be able to measure things, right? Till now we know counting things. Let's say for example, if I say give me 4 pens, you'll be able to give me 4 pens. If I say give me 4-meter ribbon, you will not be able to give me 4-meter ribbon, because 4 meters ribbon, for giving me 4 meters ribbon, you must know what a meter is, right? So let's start. So under meter we'll first be understanding length, how to measure length, then we'll discuss weight, capacity, time and temperature. So I'm just removing these terms from the picture. अब हमारे पास we just have length left. So सबसे छोटी से सबसे बड़ी तक की मेजरमेंट हम देखते हैं, हम किससे किससे मेजर कर सकते हैं. इफ़ यू वांट टू मेजर द लेंथ ऑफ योर पेंसिल टिप, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, I just want to get a pencil. It's actually blunt, not sharp. So you can sharpen your pencil. After sharpening your pencil, you can measure the tip. The tip is very small. From measuring the tip, starting from measuring the tip till measuring the distance from your house to your nanny's house or your cousin's house, we have to measure all these things, and we should know how to measure things. Okay, so length can be measured in the largest unit is kilometer, then meters, then centimeters and millimeters. A rough guess, you can say that the first this portion of your finger, if any object is smaller than this, it will be millimeter. It will be measured in, okay, I'm writing the full form obviously. km stands for kilometer, okay, and m stands for meter only. cm stands for centimeter, and mm stands for millimeter. Okay, these are the full form meter. Okay, these are the full forms of all these short notes. So now we'll start from millimeter. Millimeter is the smallest, very smallest unit to measure things. Let's say, for example, if I ask you to measure the thickness of this notebook. So is it less than this portion? Yes, it is less than this portion. So it will be measured in millimeters. If I ask you to measure the length of this pen, so it is like kind of this measurement, kind of this. So it's bigger than this portion, it will come under centimeter. We will use our centimeter scale to measure this pen. If it is like more than this length, if you want to measure things which have more than this length, we will be using meter scale. And if the distance is between two cities, your home and your school, if it is so far away, and these type of from your location to Delhi airport, these type of distances are measured with kilometer. Okay, so very small units are measured which are smaller than this portion of the finger. We use millimeter scale to measure. Then it comes centimeter. If things are bigger than this span, let's say for example a thing is like this, we'll be using centimeter scale. Or thing is like this. Let's say for example I want to measure okay, I want to measure the length of this remote. So it's also bigger than this span, so it will also be measured in centimeters. Now if I want to measure the length of the door, the length of the door obviously will be greater than this, and a door can't be this small. The length of the door will be greater than this, so we will be measuring it in meters. And if I say measure the length between your school and your home, or your home and your nanny's house, it will be the distance which will be measured in kilometers. Okay, so for this we will be learning, understanding what things are measured in millimeters, what are measured in centimeters, meters and kilometers. So I'll be writing some units. I mean let's say for example stapler. Which scale will you use to measure stapler? Think and tell ma'am. Which scale, millimeter scale, centimeter scale, meter scale or kilometer scale? Which scale will you use to measure stapler? This is a stapler. This is a stapler. Can you measure it in millimeter with the help of millimeter scale? Can you measure it in millimeters? No, because millimeter needs to be smaller than this. इससे छोटा होना चाहिए. It needs to be smaller than this. So it is definitely bigger than millimeter. Okay, so we can't measure it. We can measure, but it will take too much time. 1, 2, like this, and 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. It's a rough idea. I'm not telling you that it's actually 1 centimeter. But roughly, you can, after a rough idea, I will give you a proper exact idea of how to measure things also. But right now, the rough idea is that smaller than this will be, this length will be the first line of your finger. Smaller than that will be measured with the help of millimeter scale. So the stapler is not the thing to be measured with millimeter scale. So is it bigger than this? No, it's smaller. So we will be measuring it with the help of centimeter scale. Right. If I ask you, measure the tip of this pen. the tip of this pen. Which scale will you use? The tip of this pen. I'm not asking to measure and tell me the exact length. Just tell me which scale will you use to measure the tip of the pen. Right. Millimeter scale. For stapler, centimeter scale. For tip of pen, we will be using a millimeter scale. Okay. If I ask you to measure the length of the wall or the height of the wall from base to the top ceiling, you have to measure the height of the wall. So for that case, definitely the wall will be greater than this span, this length. यहाँ से हाथ शुरू हो रहा है ना, from here to here. The wall will be greater than this, so we will be measuring it with the help of meter scale. And if I ask you to measure the distance between two cities, two villages, two countries, it will be the distance measured with the help of kilometer scale. Okay. Now tell me, which scale will you use to measure the length of the phone, the mobile phone? Which meter scale will you use to measure the length of the mobile phone? What? Millimeter? Centimeter. Very good. Which scale will you use to measure the length of this board? To measure the length of this board? Milli? Centimeters. Yes, we will be using meters. Which scale will you use to measure the thickness of the sketch pen? How thick the sketch pen is? Which scale will you use to measure this? Tell me. Millimeter, because it comes under this, right? So these are some units to measure length, right? These are some units to measure length. Now I will be telling you there's a relationship between each unit. We can convert kilometer into meters, meters into centimeters, centimeters into millimeters. So let's see that. One kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Okay, bacha? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Now, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Now I will tell you a code to learn these things so that you don't get confused when you have to solve it. So let's go ahead and check. Hope you will be able to understand, and mommies or daddies जो भी हैं यहाँ पर, give some more example, more real life example. Let's say for example, you are with your baby, your child in the park. Ask them. Which scale will we use to measure the thickness of the tree, the length of the grass, the length of the leaf, the length of the thickness of the branch? So these are some real life example where they have to implement what they are studying here. They have understood with me. So this is your time to make learning more interesting and actually applicable. So, I am going to tell you, you know King Henry? If you don't know, I am telling you. There was a long ago, there was a king and his name was Henry. King Henry. But one day what happened? King Henry died. King Henry died. What I had noticed when King Henry died, my mother. didn't cry much. I mean, King Henry died, so my mother needs to cry, but my mother didn't cry much. Didn't cry much. Long ago, there was a king named King Henry. One day, King Henry died, but my mother didn't cry much. So this is the sentence I have made. King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. Okay, can you tell me how many colors are there in a rainbow? 7. How many days are there in a week? 7. So, how many words are there in this sentence? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, we gonna create a staircase, steps, okay? 7 steps, a staircase containing 7 steps. So, I'm just erasing it. Staircase containing 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I'm just removing this dent and applying it here. Or you can say don't also. Like it's a positive feeling. King Henry died, mother don't cry much. मतलब King Henry मर गए, but mama please आप ज़्यादा मत रो. King Henry died, mother don't cry much. It's better. So king. Now what we'll do? We will take the first alphabet. K here, H here, D here, M here. Then again D here, C here and M here. और हम इन्हें steps पर बिठा देंगे. How? King Henry died, mother don't cry much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So these are steps, 7 steps in a staircase, and the topmost is for king and the last is for M. Okay? So King Henry died, mother don't cry much. अब हम क्या करेंगे बच्चे? हर एक के आगे M लगा देंगे. So it will be KM, then HM, then DAM, then M तो है ही, इसको छोड़ देते हैं. Then DM, CM and MM. So we actually HAM. Okay, we actually don't need. We need to focus here over king, then mother, then cry much. Okay, king, mother, cry much. King, mother, cry much. So km is nothing but, अभी मैंने आपको फुल फॉर्म बताया था, km is किलोमीटर. ये जो स्टेटमेंट है ये हमें लर्न रखने के लिए है यूनिट्स ऑफ लेंथ, मेजरिंग लेंथ. किलोमीटर, हेक्टोमीटर, डेकामीटर, मीटर, डेसीमीटर, सेंटीमीटर, मिलीमीटर. सो किलोमीटर की हमें ज़रूरत है, मीटर की ज़रूरत है, सेंटीमीटर की ज़रूरत है और मिलीमीटर की ज़रूरत है. सो व्हाट आई हैव रिटन हियर, 1 किलोमीटर इज इक्वल टू 1000 meters, right? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So हम क्या करेंगे, किलोमीटर पर है, किलोमीटर से हम मीटर्स पे आएंगे. So we are here, 1 step हम डाउन आए, एक सीढ़ी उतरे, then another step down, then third step down. So third step downwards जब हम आए तो हमें मदर मिली या मीटर मिला. So we will be having 3 zeros here. 1, 2, 3. Kilometer to meter, descend 3 steps, that means 3 zeros. Each step is equal to a 0. So 1, 2, 3. 3 steps आप नीचे आए, that means 3 zeros. Descending 3 steps, adding 3 zeros. Now meter, stand on meter. Now what you need to do? You have to reach there. Where? You have to reach centimeter. So from meter, 1 step down, 2 steps down. So 2 steps means 2 zeros. There are 1, 2. 2 zeros, right? And the last is centimeter to millimeter. Just one step. So we just have, okay, I have removed. Let me write 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So we just have 1 0. Understanding? तो आपको ये steps, 7 steps और sentence ये याद रखना है. You will never do any question wrong. Else you can easily remember 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter, 1000, 100, 10. 4 units: kilometer, meter, centimeter and millimeters. Kilometer, meter, centimeter and millimeters. King Henry died, mother don't cry much. Okay, so we have just discussed 4 units only. We have just discussed 4 units, and units were kilometer, then meter, then centimeter and millimeter. How many meters make 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. How many centimeters make meters? So 100 centimeters make 1 meter. How many millimeters make centimeter? 10 millimeters. Okay, arrow, I'm just changing the position of arrow so it will devise something else. When 10 millimeters will be there, it will become 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters together make 1 meter. Thousands meter together make 1 kilometer. So this is conversion of units, especially these are units of length. Length measuring units. Now, how question comes? If I ask you 5 kilometers is equal to how many meters? 5 kilometers is equal to how many meters? So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000. 5 kilometers will equal to 5000. Just multiply 5 here. It will be 5000. If I ask you 12 meter is equal to how many centimeter? 12 meter is equal to how many centimeter? So we will be checking meter and centimeter relation. Meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 12 meter will be, yes, 1 2 0 0. We will place 2 zeros after. These zeros will be placed after the number, whatever the number is being asked. If I ask you 6 centimeter is equal to how many millimeter? So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. 6 centimeters will equal to 60 millimeter, right? So this is the conversion of units. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Now you have to implement the same knowledge and practice questions. Okay, so meet you soon with the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care and keep learning with me in math. Bye bye.